Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome to another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I wanted to actually give you guys some price predictions that I've been calling for the last couple years, talking about my $250,000 Bitcoin price prediction, talking about my $20,000 Ethereum prediction, and then I wanted to cover about what the market caps of all of these would have to be, what we're going to have to see by the end of the year for all of this to actually come to fruition. I'm a confident believer that we're going to see these valuations across the board on these altcoins, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when that happens, we're going to see the most life-changing amount of profits flood into the crypto markets. And we're all going to be prepared beforehand to capitalize fully on that. I figured today we could talk back about those price predictions, analyze exactly what the market caps of these cryptos are going to have to be for us to see these types of valuations take place, and really what we can do to continue to focus on that long-term prospect so that we can capitalize and make the most money possible over the next 3 months. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 21,000 members and growing. Links are provided for you in the description for all the people that would like to share your own thoughts on the market and join my community. On top of that, if you're new, just getting into these markets and you want extra educational content on how to be more profitable with your money, links are in the description to go ahead and download my free ebook and beginner's guide to crypto that I know is going to help you guys out tremendously. So check it out. Links are provided for you in the description. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so I want to talk about what the heck the price predictions that I've come up with. How did I come up with these price predictions? And really guys, I've had these predictions for a long time at this point. I've had these for a couple years in running. I've been calling for a $20,000 Ethereum since Ethereum was less than $200. I've been calling for a $250,000 Bitcoin since Bitcoin was still in the bear market back in 2018. And so I've had these numbers, I've stuck to these numbers because I genuinely believe that Bitcoin is going to massively outperform. And just in general, the crypto markets are going to do very well at the end of the year in the last 3 months. We're going to see a monumental increase in price and valuations, more money than we've ever seen come into a market at one single time, bigger than the internet bubble because crypto is so much bigger than that as a whole. We're seeing so many new upcoming projects that are solving some of the biggest cases of some of the biggest problematic cases that we've ever had in society, and now we're completely revolutionizing the modern financial system. And not just financial system, every single thing inside of the world is going to be running on blockchain. All of the future of business, tech, every single thing that we do in our everyday lives is going to be running on these cryptos. And so what we're seeing is so much greater than the internet. And I shouldn't say greater than the internet because the internet is what brought us crypto. It's what brought us so much new infrastructure that came into the world. But it's literally the second coming of the internet. And it's happening, it's more of the internet of financial sectors, of business, and all of this stuff. It's the next new layer over the internet, right? And I believe that in the next 3 months, we're going to see so much new retail FOMO jumping into the market, something we haven't seen up to this point. Now, we have seen quite a bit of retail come into this market in this wave 3 structure, but what we're talking about here is the blow off top. What we're talking about is the biggest expansion in price, the most parabolic expansion in price, the one where we see, pure euphoria in the market that makes no sense. And might I remind you guys, this is literally the first cycle in which we've had actual institutional investors. I believe this blow off top is going to be very insane. How parabolic it gets, is going to take a lot of people by surprise, because the reason it's going to get so parabolic and the reason why it's not going to keep extending longer and longer, and this cycle is going to be longer than ever before, is simply because exit liquidity needs to be taking place for smart money to take profits. They need exit liquidity. How do they make exit liquidity? Well, when you're an institutional investor and you're already partnered with all of the mainstream news, you're already partnered with all of your rich billionaire buddies that own all the tech sectors like Facebook and Google and stuff like that. They're going to be able to massively put out crypto content. They're going to massively be able to show you guys crypto and make and incite FOMO so that people go out and they buy, and that's what's going to drive the price up for one glorious pump to close out the year. And so I want to talk to you guys about price predictions, the price predictions I've already had between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then analyzing kind of how I got those, and then summarizing all of that by analyzing what the market caps of these are going to see. What is going to be the end-all market cap of the total market cap, what's going to be the end-all market cap for Ethereum and Bitcoin. as we close out the end of the year, because arguably these are super important things to understand, so that we kind of understand when to be taking profits, or at least what to look for when it comes to this blow off top in the market. Now guys, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. People are going to look at this chart and they're going to think to themselves, man, this guy's an idiot. There is no way that's going to happen. But I need to remind you guys that this has happened both in the last two cycles. The same time frames that we're at, I shared with you guys that in the last video, how the fourth quarter always produces a blow off top. In that blow off top, we get a massive overextension and it's insanely profitable. This is literally no different than what we've seen up to this point. And I'll share with you guys, a quick chart of 2013 actually, to share with you guys kind of what that looks like. This was the 2013 cycle, right? We had that massive run up past the all-time highs here. We get that short-term midway correction in the summer. And then this was the final blow off top that took us from the beginning of the fourth quarter all the way until the 1st of December. And it made this little sell-off here in the summer look obsolete. And this is pretty much just going to be following that same exact path. The time frames are the same. This shows a top sometime at the 1st to mid-December. The same thing happened in this cycle. And really one of the ways in which I came up with this is through the Fibonacci, guys. Fibonacci, if we look at the history of Bitcoin, let's actually pull up another chart here. If we come to the Brave New Liquid Index for Bitcoin, I can share with you guys how Fibonacci has played such a major role in analyzing where the projected tops are going to be. So here we go. We're going to analyze from the beginning of wave 3 all the way up here to the top of wave 3, and then back down to the midpoint of the sell-off. Now, every single 5-wave, the blow-off top in every cycle, it tops around the exact same point in Fibonacci, between the 3618 and the 4236. This one extended all the way up to the 4236 before topping. And if you analyze from the beginning of wave 3 to the top, back down to the bottom of the midway sell-off, that's what's going to give you these extension targets. And this is where every single Bitcoin cycle is going to top. And so when we apply these exact same multiples to what we're seeing today inside of Bitcoin, you guys are going to have a little bit more of a deeper understanding of how I actually came up with these targets. So once again, bottom of wave 3, top of wave 3, back down to the midpoint. We're going to get the final blow off top. Bitcoin in 2017 went from 3K to 20K, and this one topped, about midway between the 3618 and the 4236. So once again, following roughly those same extension targets. Now here we are, guys, in the final cycle, and this is literally how I came up with these extension targets and how I figured that Bitcoin itself is going to be hitting about 5 trillion in market cap before by the end of the year, I should say. So if we measure from the beginning of wave 3 to the top of wave 3, back down to the midpoint of the low, this is going to be taking us somewhere between the 3618 and the 4236. This has happened each of the last two cycles. We've seen Bitcoin hit somewhere in between these outermost extension targets based off of Fibonacci. So not only have we hit pretty much the exact same time frames that we have back here since 2013, I mean right here, the beginning, or I should say the end of September, the beginning of October, this is quarter 4. So if I draw a line here, you guys will be able to easily identify what I'm talking about. This was quarter 4. Right here was the beginning, and in a couple months, Bitcoin did this. Bitcoin does this in the fourth quarter every 4 years. We have a massive blow off top. And if we come over here and analyze the same thing in 2017, the exact same thing took place once again. We'll go to the end of September, about right there, and we can see that Bitcoin went from here all the way up, about 35, this one's about $4,500 from the beginning of quarter 4, all the way up to 20K. This was what happened in just a couple months, right? We saw a massive blow off top. So this has taken place each of the last two cycles, guys. Not only are we following the same time frames, but if Bitcoin continues to do what it's done thus far, we will see this type of a move coming out to close out the end of the year. And this one shows a projected top somewhere around, the last week or so of December. It could be anywhere in between those time frames. Like I've stated, I'm going to be selling off of the given time frames that I've said a number of different times in this channel. And this is the reason why, guys. When we look at this chart, we're analyzing simply based off of what the market cap could be, and this shows anywhere from about maybe 4.5 trillion all the way up here to about 5 trillion. That's my guess, is we're going to see a $5 trillion Bitcoin market cap by the end of the year, I should say. And that's literally what we're gearing up for, is this type of a move, a massive parabolic rally, an insane blow off top. And so when I say hold on to your horses, hold on to all of your bags, don't panic sell so early, don't be looking to take such major profits so early on, because what is coming is going to be the biggest impulse of the cycle where we make the most amount of money, guys. This is what's happened each of the last 2 cycles. And so why I think that Bitcoin is going to be hitting, 5 trillion in market cap is simply because of the 2 repetitive cycles that we've seen this point, us following so identically to those cycles, us making the same time frames. And so if we're going to continue to follow the same time frames, why wouldn't we continue to follow the same Fibonacci extensions as well? And so that's my personal thought on the matter. I mean, if you're going to compare the cycles, there's more data points that we can go off besides just time frames, and that one is going to be Fibonacci. We're going to extend the 3618 to the 4236. I firmly believe that. And if Bitcoin hits $250,000 per Bitcoin, that's going to be about $4.7 trillion market cap. And so, Bitcoin could even overextend higher than that. If we hit 5 trillion, that's going to be over 250,000 per Bitcoin, guys. And so let's actually come over here and let's take a look at the Ethereum chart. And let's kind of analyze the same, market cycle. Now, here's the thing with the Ethereum chart. We don't have as much price history to go off of. We've only had one cycle, right? And so we don't really know exactly how high Ethereum is going to go, but let's just assume it's going to follow the same Fibonacci extensions as what Bitcoin has. So if we apply the same rule to Ethereum's market cap, go from the low of the wave 3 all the way up to the high, back to the midpoint, and we look and see what the 3618 to the 4236 is going to be. The bottom of the 3618 is going to be 2 trillion. The top of the 4236 is going to be 2.3 trillion. Do you guys know what the market cap has to be for Ethereum to hit $20,000? Well, it's actually got to be 2.3 trillion in market cap. And if you guys don't understand how to calculate that, basically the way you do it is circulating supply multiplied by the price that you expect it to hit. So in this case, Ethereum has like 118 million in total circulating supply. That number might not be 100% accurate, but it's close enough. So if you multiply 118 million and some change multiplied by 20,000, which is the price we expect, that's what gives you the market cap of $2.3 trillion. And so if Ethereum is to follow the same formula that Bitcoin has up to this point, we would expect to see Ethereum do a 5-wave to close out the end of the year that is massively an overextension of what we've seen up to this point, right? We're going to expect to see Ethereum take off, do something that honestly nobody's expecting. I don't think anybody expects this big of a blow off top to close out the end of the year. And a lot of people think I'm crazy for even believing this. I mean, even a lot of people that were confident about the end of the year have already started to push back into Q1 of 2022. Some of them even longer than that. I'm sticking to my thesis because the thesis has never been wrong up to this point. So why would I deviate from my plan? Deviating from your plan just simply means you're going to lose money long term. And so this is literally what I think is gearing up for Ethereum, not only Ethereum, but for Bitcoin. And I've had these price targets for such a long time, I'm sticking to them, guys. Now, if we summarize all of this up and we go to the crypto total market cap, let's kind of see what that's going to look like by the end of the year. What's going to be the total market cap of all of crypto? Well, if we apply the same rules of Fibonacci once again, let's go see what this shows us. So from here back to the midpoint, that would be an extension upwards of 10 to $12 trillion in market cap. And so just between Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're looking at about a $7.5 trillion market cap just between those two. And so what that leaves us is about a whole nother about 5 trillion in market cap total for the rest of the market. And of course, guys, we could extend higher than that. We could see anywhere from a 10 to a $15 trillion market cap for the total. And that's just kind of my thoughts on the matter. It's hard to say exactly what we're going to get, but if we compare it to what we saw in that last cycle, and we go from wave 3, which would be here, all the way up to the top of wave 3. I did that wrong. Let's fix it real quick. If we go from the bottom of wave 3 to the top of wave 3, and then back down to the midpoint, what we saw in the last cycle was actually us peaking above the 4236 slightly. So this one actually followed a little bit more of what we saw in 2013, where Bitcoin actually had wicks above this 4236 level. But once again, guys, we're following that exact same Fibonacci ratio here. And if it does the same thing again, once again, you're looking at about, 11 to 12 trillion dollars in market cap. And so there's going to be a lot of money flooding into this market. When we look at this chart, a lot of people are going to write us off. A lot of people are going to say that this is just hopium. But this is literally what we've seen every single time in these cycles. There's no difference here. So what I've given you guys is a literal blueprint into what Bitcoin has done for the last 10 years. This has happened every single blow off top for the last 10 years, ever since there's been a Bitcoin halving. And if I walk you guys through the basic steps once again before we wrap up this video, you know, every cycle is almost exactly the same. There's very little, you know, difference. The price structure can look a little different, of course, but when it comes down to analyzing price structure and time frames, it is literally exactly the same every single time around. So once again, you get the beginning of the uptrend, the halving takes place, you get the first break into new all-time highs, we get that sell-off, and if you measure from the beginning of wave 3 to the top back to the midpoint, that's what gives you the Fibonacci extension targets, where Bitcoin tops every single time between the 3618 and the 4236. Same thing of 2017. Yes, the price structure is a little bit different, but overall it's almost the same. Higher highs, higher lows, we get the halving, price takes off into new all-time highs. If you measure the beginning of wave 3, which is here, to the top of wave 3, back to the midpoint, that's what gives you the Fibonacci targets of the 3618 to the 4236, which is exactly, once again, where Bitcoin topped, right? The same thing is playing out once again in this cycle, guys. There's almost no difference here. We get the beginning of the bull run, higher highs, higher lows. We get our halving takes place right here is where it took place in this cycle. We get a major blow off. We get a major run into new all-time highs. We get that first little summer sell-off. And if you measure from the beginning of wave 3 to the top of wave 3 and back down, that's what gives us the 3618 to the 4236, which is literally $250,000 upwards of $300,000 per Bitcoin, guys. And what's interesting to me is if we go even a step further and we look at, you know, these quarters over here, this is the beginning of the fourth quarter right here, and what takes place shortly after in a couple months, the blow off top. This was the fourth quarter over here in 2017. What takes place shortly after? The blow off top. Now, we just hit quarter 4 of 2021, guys. What happens every single cycle? And I cannot stress this enough, guys. Look at the data. It's staring you right in the face. Anybody that's denying this is simply going to get caught offside. They're going to get stuck on the opposite end of the market, and they're not going to expect what's coming. Most people will sell too early. Most people most people aren't going to sell too early. Most people are going to hold too long, and the market's going to crash, and they're going to miss out on all that profit. But us knowing how quick this end of the year blow off top takes place in quarter 4 every 4 years, once again, this is literally what we need to understand to know how to take profits at the end of the year. So I wanted to make this video as just a way to further the analysis that we've talked about, analyzing what the market caps of this stuff is going to have to be for Bitcoin to hit these price targets, for Ethereum to hit these price targets, and so on and so forth. These last few videos of the, you know, remainder of the 3 months that we have in this cycle, I've been diving heavily into these cycles because this is arguably the most important thing here. I could analyze the short term, but I literally could care less about the short term. You guys could, well, I mean, some of you guys might care about the short term, but I don't. People that care about the short term are overly emotional retail investors or day traders, and chances are you don't know how to day trade if you're watching this channel. It's just my guess. I barely know how to day trade. It took me years before I learned how to do that, and I hate doing it, right? So if you're watching this channel, chances are you watch me because you don't know that much about trading, and so you're looking at the big pictures to understand a little bit deeper on when to take those profits. And guys, I'm sharing with you guys the analysis, the data that has reciprocated, that is replicated over the course of 10 years. This cycle is no different than the last 2 that we've had up to this point, and we're going to see the same type of a move coming at the end of the year. And so guys, don't get so stuck on the shorter time frames. Focus on the end of the year. Remember, December 1st, mid-December, somewhere around that time frame, we're going to see the biggest blow-off top in Bitcoin cycles that we've ever seen, and the charts are showing exactly that. And so be prepared. You know, ignore the haters, ignore the people that are saying it's going to extend longer, because it's not going to do that. The people that hold it thinking it's just going to go up longer and longer aren't going to take enough profits. Their profits are going to completely crash back inside the bear market. And then they're going to feel real dumb when they have to hold through the entire bear market before they see another profit again. Most people that do that, a lot of their coins that they think are the future aren't going to be the future in the next cycle. They're going to massively underperform compared to what they did in this cycle, and it happens every single time. Rinse and repeat over and over. The same rules apply. Don't get stuck in the bear market. Take your profits at the end of the year, and you guys will be very thankful that you did so. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos. If you guys would like to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, links are in the description for that. Once again, guys, the biggest discount on my course in signals and beginner courses going on. If you guys want to get into my group, know exactly what I'm taking profits on at the end of the year, which cryptos I'm actually taking positions in to close out this massive bull run, it's going to be so profitable, guys. I'm telling you that right now. I've explained it in the charts. Now, if you guys want to see which cryptos I'm actually trading in that time being, go join the Discord. The biggest discount I'm ever going to do is actually live. I've extended it because a lot of people actually reached out to me and said, hey, I'm not getting paid until a little bit later. I've been waiting to join your group. Can I please get in? So I decided to extend it for the people that want to get in there. You know, at the end of the year, we're going to see so much profit, and I want to see as many people in there change their lives. So once again, get in at the discount before I do close that off. It's only going to be going on for a limited amount of time. So if you guys want to see those trades, know what I'm investing in, most importantly, what I'm taking those profits on and where I'm diversifying that profit in the bear market, links are in the description for you guys to go check that out. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.